let's continue, and this will be the conclusion
Yes.
of the list that everybody has been talking about. Pritchard's pecking order, the top 20 wide receivers in the National Football League, and nobody other better than former first-round pick, played nearly a decade in the league as a wide receiver, than Mike Pritchard to break them down. So yesterday, Pritch, you unveiled 10 through 6. CeeDee Lamb at 10,
Right.
Cooper Kupp 9, Deebo Samuel 8, Terry McLaurin 7, A.J. Brown at 6. Now, the top 5.
Well, first of all, Mike Evans isn't on the list, right?
He is
I mean,
not.
that's crazy to think about this because I used a lot of data to come up with this list. I took it seriously, and Cooper Kupp, I think, is more of a respect for him being in the top 10.
Coming off injury.
Yeah, and then, the franchise and what direction they're going in. And then certainly McLaurin and Deebo, I mean, the upside for those guys is going to be incredible, I think. But the top 5, man, I didn't wrestle with this too much, right? Stefon Diggs comes in at number 5 because I'm going to define the criteria that I used here. These wide receivers are difference makers. They are. And they can put up excellent numbers on any team with any quarterback. That to me just defines the top 5 receivers in the National Football League. And all these guys have done that. So Stefon Diggs comes in at number 5. I hate the fact that he's disruptive right now, but he needs a strong quarterback. He needs Josh Allen to say, shut your mouth, go out there. We're going to win the Super Bowl. But until that happens, I'm down on the team, but I'm high on his ability and what he's a sneaky playmaker, right? I mean, I know he's a diva wide receiver, but you can't cover him. You can't stop him at times. And I think that's why he's chirping in the playoffs and in particular big games when he needs to have the ball thrown his way because he thinks he can be a difference maker that way. Number four, this guy, I wanted to put him higher because I think his upside is there, but I'll put him at number 4 is Jamar Chase. And Femi, just looking at, and I'm not a big stat guy, a number guy and all that, but I mean, you can't deny this for Jamar Chase. In 12 games last year, he had 87 receptions. He had 9 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards, right? In just 12 games. And he's incredible player. You can put him all over the field. Again, I know he's linked up with Joe Burrow, but this guy can play in any offense with any quarterback and still put up outstanding numbers. I mean, it's unheard of to go on a streak like that. 12 games and to put up that type of production. Okay, coming in at number 3, enough said. It's speed with this guy, and it's Tyreek Hill, the ultimate game breaker. I think Tua is a better quarterback because he's anticipating so well, and his accuracy is off the charts because you have to with a player like this. I mean, his break point, his elusiveness, how quickly he gets open. As a quarterback, you got to set your feet quickly. You got to deliver the ball confidently. You got to anticipate break points. And Tua did all of that. And then Tyreek Hill, just whoever he's playing with, I think he's always a home run threat. We know that. You can't cover him one-on-one. You can't. If you do, they're going to throw him the ball. And to me, that defines the top 5 receiver as well. Number 2, I wanted to put him number 1. I did. But I never really get this strong, but I'm in love with the game of number 1. Number 2, though, Devontae Adams. I mean, this guy is so good. I mean, he is historically good, to be honest with you. I know at his age, and we talked about D-Hop a little bit, but he's not slowing down. Derek Carr got benched. Jarrett Stidham went out there, and Devontae put up great numbers still. I mean, he's played with Aaron Rodgers. He wasn't a product of playing with Aaron Rodgers and all that. He kind of proved that. He said so, too. I think this guy has separated himself to be one of those elite receivers to ever play the game. And his ability to get off the line of scrimmage, his ability in the red zone, his ability everywhere on the field is just off the charts, and you can't stop him. And that's what leads to number 1 for me. And that's Justin Jefferson. Probably no surprise for people out there. Not a product of the situation or the scheme because of Cooper Kupp and what he did. Justin Jefferson will elevate the receiver position for this offense, basically. And I think when you're doing things better than Randy Moss so far in your career, you're on the right track. And this guy, He's taller than people think. His athleticism is better than what people thought, and his ability to get open is just uncanny. I mean, and he's just getting started. So it's scary how good this guy can turn into, or what this guy can turn into, and how good he can be.
Justin Jefferson, right now, the undisputed in Pritchard's pecking order.
Yes.
Best wide receiver in the National Football League. And what's scary about Justin Jefferson that you mentioned, he's entering his age 24 season.
I know.
The guy just won Offensive Player of the Year, 1,800 yards last year, 8 touchdowns. And there's no hard arguments for me when I see that list. I mean, those are like the top 5 guys when I think about wide receivers in the NFL. But I'm with you, though. And if I was making this list, I think I'd have had Chase a little higher.
I wanted to.
I love me some Jamar Chase.
I did.
I love me some Jamar Chase. And maybe this is blasphemous. I think Chase is better than Jefferson.
Oh, the fact that they were on the same team, man.
And who was the number 1 on that team?
I know, Jamar Chase.
It was Chase.
Yeah, I know.
Chase's potential, and like it's unfortunate because he got hurt last year. That's why he only played in those 12 games. He did dealing with the hip thing. I bet on him to win Offensive Player of the Year heading into last season, so maybe I'm a little bit biased here. But, I mean, rookie season, to put up 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns as a rookie. And I get that Burrow is awesome, so he has a little bit of an advantage playing with a really good quarterback.
Right.
But Burrow didn't really take off to be that awesome guy until Chase showed up.
Right. Burrow was sacked over 50 times, too.
Exactly. Like, Chase, his potential, what he's able to do with physicality, after the catch, at the catch point, like he reminds me as a Dallas Cowboys fan, he reminds me of like Dez Bryant early in his career, in his prime when Dez, before all the injuries and he had his movement skills and all that stuff. Like that's what Chase reminds me of with his physicality. Like I think I'd have had Chase at number 2.
At number 2, Devontae?
Well, hear me out.
Okay.
Devontae would have been number 1 for me.
Oh, see, I almost did that. Yeah. But then you would
Jefferson's
put Jefferson
3.
at?
He's 3 for me.
And Tyreek number 4.
I think that's how I put it.
All right.
I think that's how I put it. If it were me, it's not my list. It's not Femi's pecking order. It's Pritchard's pecking order. But
do you remember the catch from Justin against Buffalo?
The catch of his life.
Do you remember that catch? Okay.
I do remember that catch. But I'm partial to guys that score a lot of touchdowns. Like, you know, I'm a touchdown guy. Like Jefferson, in terms of his yards, like 1,800 yards, you can't argue with that.
Right.
But he's only been a double-digit TD guy one year in his 3-year career. Like guys who score those double, like Adams. I mean, Adams 15 touchdowns last year, 18 touchdowns a few years ago. Like touchdowns win games. Yeah. And part of Jefferson only having 8 touchdowns last year was a little unlucky. Usually when you have 1,800 yards, you're going to get double-digit TDs. I'm assuming he'll probably get there this season.
Right.
But I'm partial to TDs, so I would have Jefferson 3, Hill 4. But Adams, I think, still has the belt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we saw, because everyone was wondering, what's he going to do now that he's no longer with Aaron Rodgers? Well, he went to Derek Carr and put up crazy numbers again. Like, Adams is that guy for me.
Yeah. No. I mean, I can see your logic there. Not at all disagreeing from the logic. I think for me, in just ranking these guys, I mean, when I started the list, I had Justin Jefferson number 1. I mean, that's how excited I was to get to number 1 because I have not. I mean, just to watch his game and as a receiver, like just to appreciate that, like, and I studied Maynard, I studied Ellard, I studied Cliff Branch, I studied all these guys, right? All these, different era type of players. And I mean, outside of Randy Moss, I've not, from a talent standpoint, Jerry Rice turned into the greatest player, greatest football player, period, really, I think. But just from where Justin is starting, kind of like similar to what where he started from, I mean, it just got better and better and better. Randy took a lapse because he got lazy at times, right? If Randy had T.O.'s tenacity or Jerry's work ethic,
it'd have been scary hours.
There would be no other receiver to talk about.
No. He'd be the gold standard.
He almost is now.
Yeah. But
he got lazy along the way. But I don't think Justin's going to get lazy along the way, though.
Who do you think has the best chance to crack the top 5 this time next year?
Ooh, A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown is on course to really get to that next level.
I'll go Garrett Wilson.
Okay. Ooh.
1,000 yards with Zach Wilson and Mike White throwing you the football.
Yeah.
You're doing something good.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.